Hallo, willkommen zurück zu Zodiac Trial. Im letzten Part haben wir die Route von Roost abgeschlossen und waren dann auf der Suche nach der nächsten Route, die wir verfolgen können, und haben sie gefunden. Und jetzt geht es darum, das Spiel von Brian auf den Kopf zu stellen und zu finden, wie wir alle entkommen können. Und dafür hat Maus 3 Ideen. Und zwar einmal: The rules contradict what the Jade Emperor previously said. The rules don't actually mean two people have to die. The rules are unclear on one major point. So. Die Regeln, die uns erklärt wurden, waren anfangs: Wenn ihr das Spiel richtig spielt, muss keiner sterben. Und danach kommt die Regel: Zwei von euch haben bestimmte Persönlichkeiten. Der eine muss das Spiel gewinnen, der andere muss es verlieren, um zu überleben. Nun müssen wir gucken. Ich meine, das stimmt auf jeden Fall. Das könnte auch sein. Und das ist ebenfalls komisch. Ich gebe dem ersten, denn das wird mir zuerst auffallen.
Huh?
I don't get it.
I mean, Brian previously said that if we work together, we could all get out alive. But these rules totally blow that promise out of the water. Isn't that weird?
For real. Look, that sucker clearly wasn't planning on us being able to grow up like this, so he introduced some shit to break us apart. Anyway, what does it matter that he changed his mind? It's not like he's bound to do what he said.
I guess. So then, what's the plan, Chief?
The plan hasn't changed at all. We're going to find all the minor trinkets, and then we'll all reach the finish line at the same time.
Hold on, isn't that a super duper bad idea not to change anything now that we know about the personality types? Now there's a really good reason for someone to betray us.
And how exactly do you propose they go about doing something like this? We've heard everyone's abilities, and there's no quicker way of moving than all of us using the minor trinkets. If the accomplished type tries to get ahead of the others, before we begin using them, we'll immediately know their intentions. From there, the group can work against a common enemy and stop them. Ich glaube, unsere Antwort war falsch. Once we get all of the minor trinkets, we can make it to the finish line in a matter of 2 rounds. Even if the weak type doesn't activate a trinket, more than 9 will receive a joint victory, so the immunity will be forfeit. I suspect that it's why the 9-person KV was added in the first place. Okay, ich glaube, wir haben was falsch gewählt. Dann gehen wir zurück. Genau. Dann wahrscheinlich das hier vielleicht? Ich will wissen, was diese Unklarheit ist.
Huh?
I thought they were perfectly clear.
No, they're not. They talked about how the accomplished personality would be executed if they failed their task, but they didn't make it clear what would happen to the weak personality. Well, that's because they'd be executed, right?
The Jade Emperor didn't make it explicit. Isn't that a weird oversight? For real. Look, just because it's asshole didn't say it explicitly, doesn't mean this part wasn't clear. Yes, it's not like he's bound to make his rules crystal clear. He's the one deciding whether or not we'll be executed after all.
I guess.
Auch falsch, super. Aber das war eine gute Idee. Und jetzt das hier.
What?
Mouse, I'm begging to question your listening comprehension. Wasn't it pretty clear that the accomplished and weak personalities couldn't work with the rest of us?
Correct. People with those personalities can't win with the group.
So you're defending your umpire.
No, I'm not. If those personalities are the problem, then let's just get rid of them. Can we do that?
I saw no such rule.
Well, I did. Sheep, horse, I found a major trinket which allows somebody to replace their information with another person's. At first, I thought this just meant they could steal somebody's ability. However, I now realized that it could also be used to override personality.
Das habe ich gedacht sogar, als ich das Major Trinket gefunden habe von den beiden. Ich war sofort so, hey, ist doch logisch, damit kann man das Spiel bestimmt enden. Ich war so clever.
Hey, Mouse is right. That'll totally work.
Oh, intriguing. For real? Great thinking, Mouse.
With this, there is a peaceful path ahead of us.
Hold on. There's an issue.
Nur einer kann es nutzen, oder nicht?
Why do you always have to be such a downer? If I remember correctly, that trinket was one-time use, which means we can only save one person. Seriously? Damn it! Even when it looked like there's a path to safety, it gets snatched away.
It's a right pick. Things are still under control. Because there's still a way to save everybody.
Well then,
Let us hear it. Doc, Bunny, I found another major trinket. That one allows you to reuse the last item that was inputted. In other words, it allows you to copy an item, not a personality. If we combine the two...
I believe I'm beginning to see the picture. Yes, this should work. A good thing too. I'm not sure what I would have done had there not been a solution like this.
So that means...
Correct. I have the accomplished personality. Had you not worked out a solution, Mouse, well, things would have gotten far more complicated for me. So I thank you for that.
You're welcome. If this is really going to work, then I also admit that I'm the weak personality. But we can fix that, right? Of course we can fix it. With this item, we'll be able to work together as a team. Hurrah!
Yes, hurrah indeed.
Hurrah! It was incredible how quickly the atmospheres morphed from one of defeat to accomplishment. There was a palpable feeling of positivity, like we had beaten Brian at his own game. We had worked out a loophole in this design, and instead of turning against each other, we could all survive. For my part, I felt quite smug about piecing the whole thing together, but I tried to remain humble. Instead, I took out the major items to help coordinate things. We decided horse ability and personality would be the safest to copy. And before long, Ox and Sheep returned from their classrooms, attesting that it had worked perfectly.
It is fascinating, though.
What is?
The obvious plan for a team would be to search the entire school for minor trinkets. In that search, it is almost certain that we would have found both of these major trinkets. It would not take too much thinking to put the pieces together and save those with a special personality. So Brian was accurate when he said that this was a trial of our character. And he was truthful when he said we could all get out together. If we were all really virtuous and level-headed, the accomplished and weak personality would out themselves and help the group search for trinkets. Then, when the group found those two major trinkets, we would realize that everyone could survive. However, I wonder what would have happened had we not found those trinkets before the announcement even played. I think it not improbable that instead of banding together like that, things would have developed into chaos, resulting in very few of us surviving.
What is the purpose of this thought experiment?
I suppose there isn't one in particular.
Then let's get back to business. We might have thwarted the Jade Emperor once, but let's not forget we're still in grave danger. We don't know what other tricks he may try, and we still need to actually find 12 minor trinkets. He gave us an extra 15 minutes to try and sort things out, but it's definitely been longer than that. We need to get back to our search.
Agreed. Let's split up again and search through the school. Yeah, we got this.
Let's clear this game in style.
My, what a festive mood. This moral should help our effectiveness.
Or make us complacent.
Whatever. We need to start searching. Let's start searching.
And start searching we did. The group fanned through the school, turning over every room with great efficiency. And sure enough, we found a fair share of minor trinkets. One in a safe in the auditorium, another in the nurse's office, a third one in a locked trophy case. And it wasn't just minor trinkets, but major trinkets we found too. Blinders which shuffled everyone's positions on the board and made everybody's piece anonymous. A mousetrap which let you move backwards as much as you want.
Oh my god, cool.
Bruce even found a pistol in a classroom on the second floor. He did a lot of posing with it before Bunny confiscated it from him. We continued to update each other on our progress by meeting in the cafeteria at the end of each round. Then, in the 6th round, I found something interesting in the computer lab on the 3rd floor. One of the computer screens in the 4th row were open. I figured I should try checking it out. Looking at it, the screen had a PNG of a giant 9 minimized. Weird. Curious, I tried turning on a bunch of the other computers. Most of them were powered off, but 3 of them turned on, 1 in each row. Then, the 3 that turned on were locked. They all needed the username and a password. But I couldn't help but notice the fact that the profile pictures of these 3 computers were all unique. The first was a picture of Nox, the second picture of a tiger, the third a picture of a bunny. That couldn't be a coincidence. I looked around the computer a bit more before finding a sign that seemed pertinent. How to start a computer, a guide. The username will be the owner's first name. The password will be their role. Possible roles: tool, complicit, judge, killer. Note: capitalization matters. Yeah, this was definitely one of Brian's puzzles. I didn't quite get it, but I figured there was no harm in giving it a shot. I started with the computer with the ox on it. What was X's name? Davis, maybe? For the username, I input Davis, I guess? Davis? Okay, good. And then for the password. Judge. Oh, warte. Judge großgeschrieben natürlich. Judge. Warte, was sind die Rollen nochmal? Tool, Complicit, Judge, Killer. Okay. Also er war dann wahrscheinlich der Judge. I thought it might do it. However, that computer wouldn't budge. I must have been wrong. Still, there had to be something big on these computers. I should work with the one already open. Sure, all that seemed to be open was a single PNG file, but there could be more in the system. I made my way to the computer and started digging around the system. And though it took me a bit, I did discover something interesting when I tried to log out. Something very curious indeed. Unfortunately, I would never be able to relay that information, because right as I was putting things together in my head, I felt hands rub my throat. I tried to fight it, obviously, but my assailant had the element of surprise and an iron will on their side. At the very least, I was able to lay eyes on my attacker, and it surprised me, it really did. Not because of who my killer was. No, it was because my killer wasn't the person who should have been trying to hide what I just found out. So why bother killing me? A nice mystery to ponder as my consciousness and life slipped from my body. Ace of Diamonds! If Mouse pokes around the computers too much, she might catch the delayed fix. Mouse is clever, and will likely realize that the computer pokes a hole in the stories they've been fed. Her getting killed before she can relay that to the rest of the group is the best case scenario. Oh wow, that sounds mean. Okay, was, wenn ich was falsch drücke? Was passiert nochmal? Dann kommt das hier. Okay. I suspected that is why the 9-person caveat was added in the first place. Brian must have deemed it too easy for the hateful type to win had it not been in place. So ultimately, if we just proceed with the strategy, the 10 of us with normal personalities will be fine. Great, so there's really no need to fear at all. Thank God.
You're all being awfully naive.
What?
Do you seriously think that those burdened with the rules will simply roll over and die? If they're willing to do that, they would have spoken up when we asked them to. Those with the will to survival will find some way to do so. You think they wouldn't to underestimate desire to live?
Those words hung heavy. Of course he was right. If they hadn't outed themselves already, then the people facing harsher rules wouldn't be content with the things operating smoothly. The air would now be played with a brutal sense of distrust. How could we when the traitors lurked in our midst? But we had no choice other than proceed with the plan, even if we knew something was likely to go wrong. Soon enough, we had split up looking for trinkets. I decided to check around some of the classrooms on the first floor. Eventually, this was the incorrect choice. Because, although I didn't know it at the time, that made me the first targeted line. Which is how I ended up being stabbed in the back with a kitchen knife. I screamed out in pain, as loud as I could. Those screams actually drew some people to the scene of the crime. Unfortunately, it was too late. I was bleeding out too much. I didn't even see who stabbed me, so I wasn't even able to do something good in my death. So, that's a bummer, I guess. Ace of Clubs!
In this path, Mouse has already collected all the pieces she needs to solve Brian's puzzle. However, the ability to do something and the capacity to do it are two separate things. If Mouse doesn't connect the dots herself, no one else will. And then the race shall proceed standardly.
Okay. Ich weiß, was ich tun muss, ein bisschen. Also das schon mal auf jeden Fall. Dann kommen wir hier hin. So. The username will be the owner's first name. The password will be the role. Possible roles: tool, complicit, judge, killer. Okay. Capitalization matters. Okay. Zuerst kommt Ox. Ich glaube nicht, dass es Davis war, um ehrlich zu sein. Ich weiß, wo ich es finde, aber. Ich glaube, ich finde den Namen von... Nein. Ich glaube, ich weiß, wo ich den Namen finde. Der Name müsste wie hier vorkommen. Wartet. Mal kurz loaden. Und zwar dahin. Mich mit... war das falsch? Ach, warte, ein davor sogar noch, glaube ich. Hier. Ja. Ich gehe mit... ach, das ist mit gelabert, ne? Na, erstmal wird gelabert. So. Ich gehe erstmal mit... Warum bin ich mit ihm gelaufen? Passt. Ja, das war's nämlich. Jetzt will ich dahin gehen. Oh, ein Passwort, das habe ich aufgeschrieben. Wartet. Das habe ich mir aufgeschrieben. Passwort. Oh Gott, muss ich echt noch... so das Passwort nochmal. Ah, ich Idiot. Warte. Das ist hier. Da ist es nämlich. Glaube ich. Ich Idiot. Ich habe es nicht aufgeschrieben, das Passwort. Gibt es vielleicht ein Ding, wo ich schon drin bin im Passwort im Ding? Verdammt! Was war das Passwort nochmal? Wartet kurz. Ich bin gleich wieder da. Alles klar, ich bin zurück. Ich glaube, das war... Hatte ich für Schreiben? Danke. Das war's. Genau. So. Yes. Na, okay. Es gab Namen. So. Jamie Wilbert, Manuel Perez. Davis Caven. Davis Caven. Okay. Whicher Brill is the judge? Okay, wir haben Davis Caven. Dann gehe ich mal kurz hier hin und speichere es kurz, wenn ich das schon mal habe. So. Aber warum? Du die First Names auch nicht. Owner's First Name. Der Name ist Davis, das stimmt. Davis. Nicht Killer. Ich kann Tool. Tool würde ich ja Bunny zuschreiben eigentlich. Oh, Tool ist seins? Okay, das habe ich nicht gedacht. Ich dachte, Tool wäre Bunny. Okay, Tool, wir haben's.
Yes, I got in. Okay, great. Before I looked at the computer, I went to the next one. The one with the tiger avatar. I tried to picture tiger's name in my mind. Vaguely, the name Zahara came to me. Was that the name of one of the witnesses?
Zahara. Und da haben wir Accomplice? Was haben wir auch, oder? Warte. Speichern. Zurück. Was sind die Sachen, die ich hatte? Tool Complicit. Complicit, das habe ich gesucht. Complicit? Nee, dann ist es nicht Killer. Judge ist nicht. Ist es Killer?
Again, I was met with success. I was almost there. One more computer to go. Went to the last computer, the one with the bunny profile picture, and tried to type in the username. What was Bunny's name? For some reason, Gary came to me. Might it have been the lead cop's name?
Nee. Gary. Und erst würde ich sagen, wahrscheinlich Complicit. Complicit.
Done it! I racked my brain hard, remembering the names of some of the people involved with that old case. Took some guesses and got through. Woo! Though the results were slightly concerning. More importantly, I had gotten all the computers open. It was weird that the fourth computer was already open, and that there was still a word left unused. Had someone opened the computer already? That didn't matter right now. What mattered was the fact that I had 3 computer screens to check. I checked all of them and found the only thing on each of them was an open PNG file. The first group had a 2, the second a 3, and the third a 4. Combine that with the 9 I found earlier. It was a code of some sort. 2349. But for what? As soon as I checked the file's name for all of them images, I figured out what it was. Put together, it spelled pick minor trinket.
Oh!
It was unorthodox, but I'd got my hands on another minor trinket. Yes, my escapade had helped make even more progress for the group. But I wasn't alone in finding trinkets. By the start of the 7th round, we had found 10 minor trinkets. It really looked like we were on a roll. However, it was that point we went into a bit of a problem.
Toll. Okay, das Problem sehen wir im nächsten Part erst. Ich fand, in diesem Part haben wir genug Fortschritt gemacht, deswegen werden wir im nächsten Part sehen, was genau unser kleines Problem sein wird. Ich denke mal, irgendwer wird sich nicht an den Plan halten. Orks, ich guck dich an, weil ich traue dir irgendwie nicht mehr so gut. Das sehen wir dann beim nächsten Mal. Ich danke fürs Zugucken und bis nächstes Mal dann. Tschüss.